Hello, today I would like to talk to you about the Sherlock Holmes series. It is one of my personal favorites. It's really interesting. The story takes place in London, which at this time is one of the biggest cities in the world. Personally, how I picture this time in London is a bunch of houses clumped together that are mainly wooden and brick, with some cobblestone roads with uh, sidewalks on either side, with cars driving around on the cobblestone. The characters in the story are also a real treat to read about. Let's start with Sherlock Holmes. He's very style. Sherlock Holmes may be one of my favorite characters of all time. He's very calculated and always wants what's the best thing. Every time you hear him explain his theories, you will be amazed. The stories are told by Watson's point of view, which is very interesting to hear Watson and Holmes' relationship throughout the story. Or stories, I should say. And of course, there is their client. And you can't forget about the villains, which are all different and very interesting in their own ways. You should also read Sherlock Holmes because everyone has read it before, at least one point in their life. I mean, what type of a person hasn't even read the great Sherlock Holmes? When you read Sherlock Holmes, you can also feel better about yourself because the characters, like Sherlock, have such good character and ethnical values. For now, I'm only going to talk about one of the stories and the conflict from that plot because you should read the story later, and I don't want to spoil it for you. I will be talking to you about a scandal in Bohemia. It starts with the king walking in with Sherlock and Holmes, and he talks about what he needs them to solve. Next, you learn about the king's problems and how Sherlock Holmes will solve them, which is pretty much the basis for all of the stories in the book. Also, I would like to talk about the theme of the story, or at least one of them, which the one I have picked I think is cunningness. The reason I have picked cunningness is because Holmes is always using his brain and being very intelligent to stop the bad villains in the story. Now let's talk about his writing style. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle does have a different writing style than what we are used to today, but it is very easy to get used to. Let's have a quote from the story so you can hear his writing style close up. So, he was, I take it, the most perfect reasoning and observing machine that the world has seen. But, as a lover, he would have placed himself in a false position. As you can see from the sentence I just read you, his writing style does take a little bit of getting used to. The punctuation isn't what we're used to today, but it is still very readable and very good.